There are shows with psychics.
And there are shows with doctors.
But there's no show like The Psychic and the Doc.
Your practical paranormal power unleashed.
This show synthesizes the talents of world-class medium Mark Anthony, the psychic lawyer, psychic explorer,
and street smart spiritualist, behavioral psychologist, Dr. Pat Baccili. All subjects are on the table and no topic is taboo. Inspiration, insight,
action, and fun as Mark Anthony connects with loved ones in spirit,
in tandem with Dr. Pat's fresh, no-nonsense, street smart, intuitive insights. And she is hilarious.
Extraordinary problems
require extraordinary solutions, which may come from this side
or the other side. This is The Psychic
and the Doc, and it starts now. Welcome, everyone, to the Transformation Network. This is The Psychic and the Doc. I'm Mark Anthony, Psychic Explorer, and I'm here with the amazing, the one and only Dr. Pat Baccili, who is a world-renowned behavioral psychologist, founder of the Transformation Network, and star of the ongoing and award-winning The Dr. Pat Show. And it is really great to be here, and just had a real whirlwind tour in Sedona at the Sedona Ascension Retreat. I want to thank everybody that was there. I'll be at the New Living Expo in San Rafael, April 19th through the 21st, then at the Unity of Tampa, April 27th, and then in Virginia Beach at the Edgar Cayce Reincarnation Summit between May 3rd and 4th, and my presentation's on May 4th, so May the 4th be with everybody. But tonight we have a really great show, and Dr. Pat and I were talking about this because this is a very special time of the year. The spring equinox was just the other day, so and the equinox means the amount of light between day and night were the same. And that only happens twice a year, the spring equinox and the autumnal equinox, which will be in September. But
that also, is a big word, Mark.
It is the autumnal. Autumnal equinox. But, spring cleaning, people traditionally, when spring has sprung, they clean out their house. And that's kind of what we're talking about tonight, is a spiritual spring cleaning. Let's get that funk and gunk out of here. Let's, everyone's coping with something. We have a lot of callers. We will be taking calls from listeners. We are doing it. 1-800-930-2819.
Now, let me say this one other thing. First of all, you are my inspiration. I have watched what you're doing and coming out of the gate. And so it has inspired me. And so what I've been doing in the background is planning certain things, right? To really, really plan this and come out in the forefront and talk about the things that are important. Why are we creating a network like this? Why are we all video? Why are we expanding? Why do we even have, are you already a fabulous addiction recovery channel? Why? So I just haven't done that. Now, this show, there's not another time, but I want to tell you about today in honor of my mom who passed away, Mama Doris, gotta love her. I'm hoping Linda could go get a picture of her. I could hold it up here. Her birthday was March 21st, but this is a special one. Are you ready? This day, 20th was the big deal, but today when you woke up, it is the first sign of Aries. Hello? Kicking off the astrological new year in tandem with a new moon in Aries. This is a rare coincidence of a new moon on the day of an astrological year. Boom.
Wow.
Right?
So there is a lot going on. And, people...
It's called the luckiest day. They talk about the luckiest day. So, what I want to say to everybody, get ready, clean it up, knock the cobwebs off the ceiling, and get ready for this show, right, Mark?
Yes, 100%. And it's very important for us in our hectic lives. And, living in the 21st century, we have all this zap action technology and media. We're getting bombarded by news and everything else. But it's important to take a day, to take some time and just do that clearing, chakra clearing. You don't have to do some elaborate ritual. Sometimes I've heard this, Dr. Pat, take a shower, and when you're in the shower, imagine the water being the energy of the white light flushing all the negativity out of your energy field. Now that's easy because we take a shower every day, and a lot of times we jump in, take the shower, and get out. But envision it as washing the negativity, the pain, and the hurt down the drain. Now, is it going to get rid of everything? No, but it's a good first step.
Yeah. And I want to give everybody a little treat for today, too. We're going to take a short break and then we're going to hit the phones. If you come on, at least mention what your sign is. I will try to give you a little insight about this particular day and what it means to your sign. So, for example, if you're Aries, I'm going to give you a little insight to that. What is the upside and what are the warning signs? So, we're going to mix it up and have some fun today. Although we do know that this is a show where you call in and we connect you to your loved ones who are no longer on this earth. So even though Mark and I do talk about cool things, please know that we have the utmost respect for you and your journey and why you call in, right, Mark?
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Pat, for saying that. And that's why Dr. Pat and I do this show. We're here to help you. Yes, we joke around and we do talk about some interesting topics, but first and foremost, the show's about you, the listeners, the viewers, the callers.
Yeah. Yeah. And I got to tell you, I got another email and I'm going to say it again. That is not a stuffed rhino on Mark's wall. Please pass it on. Please pay this forward, everybody.
Yeah,
he does talk to people in spirit, but he doesn't put the animals on his wall.
No,
that is a picture.
Yeah, I don't decorate with severed heads. Well, it's really interesting, Dr. Pat. I was interviewed on another show today, and the host goes, is that a rhinoceros head on your wall? Okay. When you look at the rhinoceros behind me, you do realize it's in a corner. It's a painting, and it's two paintings, actually. It's two panels. And I remember when I saw it at an art show, and I was really captivated by it. And the artist said, put it in a corner, and then it gives the illusion of being three-dimensional. And so it's really cool because my office has a lot of I got little elephant statues, and I got the Egyptian god Horus in falcon form. I got a lot of critters, in statue around. But the thing is, I'm a proponent of wildlife and nature. I'm a supporter of the World Wildlife Fund. I don't believe in big game hunting. I think it should be banned, outlawed. I don't believe in whaling. I mean, it's like humans have inflicted enough misery on our fellow creatures. So,
well, let's go to break. But before we do, I just want to be very clear why that's on Mark's wall. You all ready? A rhino represents known for their strength and power, but it can also symbolize your own inner strength and power. So even if you dream about a rhino, this is a sign you need to tap into your own strength. So I'm not going to mention your name. Thank you for your email. If you've noticed that on his wall, this is a message for all of you. It is now time on this day, this beautiful transition, for you to tap into your why, because the rhino helps us overcome challenges to achieve our goals. Let's take a short break. When we come back, we're going to get to as many calls as we can ASAP, and it is a very short break, Sierra. We'll be right back. Hey, everybody, welcome back. You are listening to The Psychic and the Doc. We got a lot of really cool things we're going to talk to you about, but right now we're going to kick it over to Sierra. And Sierra, who do we have?
Up first, we have Pat from Ohio. Pat from Ohio, you are live.
Hey, Pat, how are you?
Hi, thanks for taking my call.
You betcha. How are you doing?
I'm doing super. How about you both?
I'm really doing really good today. How can we help you?
Well, I was just wondering if any messages come through to me. I'm in a new phase of my life, as if I recently stopped working. I'm
Hold
in my
on,
late
Pat,
60s.
Pat, hold on.
Yes.
Uh-oh, we got something
okay.
happening.
No, it's and this is for your benefit and for all the callers, please avoid giving me your life history. Let's go
Okay.
with, do I have anybody in spirit? Or
Yeah.
if you want somebody in particular, don't give me their name, just the relationship.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is we want the spirits to give us the messages. Okay, I'm picking up on a male energy. All right, hold on. And when I start giving evidence, wait until I say, do you recognize this, or does that make sense? Try, and not just you, Pat, but everyone else, try not to interrupt me or talk over me. And the reason for that is it can cause me to lose the connection with the spirit. Also avoid the no, no, no syndrome. Some people torpedo the message as soon as it comes in, because the thing is, it may take some time to reflect on it. And sometimes spirits bring up things that haven't happened yet. So with that being said, Pat, let me open up to frequency. And I am getting a male energy coming through, connected to you through your male side of the family, which could indicate like your father's side of the family. It doesn't necessarily have to be a dad. He's either on your generational level, which could be a cousin, sibling, friend, spouse, or the one above it. I'm kind of leaning towards the one above it. Now, this guy had kind of a distinguished look, a bit of receding forehead, not a lot, kind of graying at the temples before he passed. And I am smelling a lot of cigarette smoke. So at one point in his life, at least, he was a pretty heavy smoker. My lungs, or rather his lungs, felt very dried out. I'm getting a burning sensation in the throat. So this could indicate he had some throat and lung issues. Could be COPD, emphysema, could even be lung cancer. I'm also getting pain in the pancreas, so he was having issues with the pancreas, pancreatic cancer, or could be diabetes as well. This guy was really sick. I could keep going down the punch list. He's even going into his kidneys, his bladder. This poor guy was suffering quite a bit prior to passing. Do you recognize this person, Pat?
I believe my father.
Your dad? Okay. He wants you to know that he's giving me the symptoms, but he's free of all those problems right now. And he said, and I know you said that you had just recently retired. I kind of wish you hadn't said that, because he showed me a chain, and the links on the chain just broke. And what he's saying is you're free now. Okay, so you're free, that you're switching tracks. But he also said that you tend to drive yourself way too hard. You're very driven, you're very focused. And I'm laughing because he said if she thinks she's going to be cutting back on how busy she is, she needs to think again, because she's going to be busier than ever. Does any of this make sense to you?
My father begged me to retire even when I wasn't ready. Yeah.
Fantastic. But what about you being really driven?
Well, I have lots and lots of ideas, and I'm not a celebrity, so I don't know how to carry them out. So I was hoping somebody from the other side could give me some clues. I've got brilliant ideas, but how do I do this? I don't know if anybody is there to help, but I feel like they are.
Well, it's your dad. I mean, he is part of the collective of spirits around you. And you got to listen to what he said. If she thinks she was busy before, think again, because she's going to be busier than ever now. So your dad is part of your team, your spiritual team, which is helping you with all these ideas. And he said also your three-dimensional thinking. Now, that's an interesting term. Apparently, you think outside of the box. He said, and you'll find your solution. You'll find your solution. Okay, Dr. Pat, what's your take?
I have a couple of things I want to say. First of all, thank you for calling in. Second of all, you do not have to be a celebrity to launch an idea. 20 years ago, I dial a wrong phone number. Hello, that's why I'm here talking to you. I didn't hang up. Not a celebrity, completely depressed, lost. Didn't want to take any of the corporate jobs offered me. I'm not kidding. People really thought I was losing it. So, what I want to say to you is let's erase that thought. Erase, erase, erase. Okay, Pat, can you do that?
I will do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Most celebrities were not celebrities. They were not. When they first had an idea, they had an idea and then they worked towards it. I love Katy Perry's story. Um, I mean, if you read how many rejections when you hear her say, ran out of money, living in the street, right? So, what's stopping you? If we remove that, Pat, what's stopping you from taking the idea that's at the top of your list? And by the way, prioritize your ideas and work on only 3 at a time, starting with the first one. That's how you start. But then if we take that idea out, what stops you from taking action tomorrow?
That was a question, Pat.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, I know. Well, the next steps, I guess, really. I feel pretty passionate about my ideas. It's around jewelry,
Good.
I'll tell you that much.
Good,
Even though
good.
I'm a retired nurse of 48 years, I don't think that's where I need to be anymore. So
Okay.
I'm pretty excited. I'm just waiting to figure it all out. And
Okay, so I'm going to tell you what to do. You ready? I'm going to tell you what to do.
Yep.
Do you have a business license for your new business?
No, I do not.
That's what you're going to do tomorrow. You're going to go down and you can get yourself, you could either be a sole proprietor or an LLC. I recommend if you're going to do anything with jewelry, you go to LLC. So tomorrow you're going to do the research. You're going to come up with a name. What am I going to call this? Right? You're going to spend that creative time by being creative, but also by doing and making decisions. Making decisions are the key more than anything else. Making a decision about an idea is more important than the idea. Did you follow me on that one?
Yes.
Okay. So that's what you're going to do. Now, what's your birthday? What month were
May
you born?
31st. May 31st.
Okay. So May 31st, right? Do you know what sign you are?
Gemini.
Great. Did you hear me read about the message for Gemini at the beginning of the show?
I did not.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I did not.
Gemini, no, that's okay. I'm just going to tell you about it. This little equinox thingy that's going on right here on today. So what I want you to know about Gemini for this is you could be feeling, you already said it. So I'm just kind of reading, I'm just kind of sharing something you already did. You're connected to a greater collective during this spring equinox, right? This is what's happening. This is hitting in a house of your 11th house, which is progress, idealism, right? It's community. So this is really where you have to let your fiery sign, you have to let yourself pop in there because, if you're looking at some certain other things like your sun and your Mercury and other things, these are all jumping in, but this is comfortable for you. You need to be able to be here in your air sign. You need to be here, but also love where you are. And like Mark said, I want you to appreciate your high key energy. Aries and coming into Aries and Gemini, because remember I said Aries is this moon. So when you piggyback this day with Gemini, Aries is a fiery force. But you're not going to believe this. I'm going to leave you what this says. Ready, Mark? Don't bite off more than you can chew. That's the message. So that's why you have to start one bit at a time. So Pat, when you call in again, you're going to be telling us the name of your new business, right?
Absolutely.
Good. Thank you, Pat. Thank you so much for coming. I'm excited for you.
All right.
Really excited
Thank
for you.
you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it very much.
Yeah. Wow. That was a great message from her dad right there. All
Yeah,
right,
it was.
Sierra.
Up next, we have Alvin from Canada. Alvin, you are live.
Hey, Alvin.
Hi,
Welcome
it's
to
Alvin
the
here.
show.
Hello, Alvin. Alvin, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Perfect. Great. I'm great to hear you. Welcome to the show. How can we help you tonight?
Financial, how long do I have in this world before I go to the other side? And anything else general.
Okay, so I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to see what Mark can connect you with and see if somebody from Spirit comes through and gives you the message. You ready?
You bet.
All right.
Yeah, because Alvin, I'm not a fortune teller. I'm a medium. Okay. And because a lot of people call in and they want love, life, career, those type of advice. And that's not what I do. Okay. But if your spirits want to give you that advice, but they may give you advice that you don't think you need or that you're not looking for, but they know what you do need. Okay. So I'm getting a female energy coming through. She feels like she's 2 generations back. So this could very well be a maternal grandmother or a great aunt or an older female connected to you through your mother's side of the family. And what I get with her is I feel like my lungs are filling up with fluid and difficulty breathing prior to passing. So this could be congestive heart failure, could be pneumonia, some other type of thing affecting her lungs. She knew she was passing. And she was approaching her physical death really with actually a very good attitude. She knew it was her time. She was approaching death with clarity. And I get the sense that she kind of basically left on good terms with everyone. Does this make sense to you in any way, Alvin?
It could be my mother's side, her mother,
Yeah.
my grandmother.
And she showed me a bunch of pearls. Now, most ladies have something with pearls in it. However, pearls are also the birthstone for the month of June. So what this could indicate, Alvin, is a significant birth, death, anniversary, or event connected to her, to you, or someone close to either of you, either on planet Earth or in spirit, within the month of June. But it could also be a trigger for a female name that starts with the letter J, like a June, Jean, Jane, Janet, Jody, something like that. Is there anything there?
My wife is Jay.
And there we go. Okay, so we got your grandmother here, and let's see what she wants you to know. Hold on. Interesting. She said, you've been driving in the same lane for far too long, and it's time to take a more scenic route. Now, this has nothing to do about driving. This is a metaphor for you branching out with what you're doing in life, especially in your employment. She said that you've been like constricted inside of a box for too long, and now it's like this creative burst. This is interesting because the first caller is going through the same type of career type of shift, and I don't want to call it a crisis, we'll call it a career shift, but we're getting that with you as well. Does this make any sense to you, Alvin?
Yeah, I'm retired and I got laid off from my job.
Oh, and you got offered a job?
So
okay.
I'm looking for something different.
Okay.
I'm looking for something.
Yeah, they said it's time for you to do something fun, now, I don't know what you would consider fun, but they show you outside a lot around a bunch of flowers and trees, like gardens. I don't know if you're interested in like gardens or botanical gardens or something like that, but they show you with a lot of plants, in particular these gigantic roses. It's weird, like, because normally roses are, they're decent sized flowers, but these are enormous. Anything there makes sense to you?
I do love roses, but I haven't really worked in that type of area, like landscaping or planting roses and stuff like that. I used to have a farm, but I sold it. So.
Okay. So they may be bringing up stuff in the past, all right, and that may be something. Because really, I mean, when you're retired, you don't want to start landscaping. I mean, this could be if you're associated with a botanical garden or something like that. That doesn't mean you're actually doing the physical labor. You could be like a tour guide or something like that. But they're also saying that who was in the Navy connected to you? There's a male connected to you that was in the Navy.
Not that I know of.
Yeah, this is going back a generation or two. Okay. Interesting. I want you to think about that. It's funny because the spirit said
both
steady.
My father and grandmother came across from Ireland on the ship, but they
Oh, there we go. There we go. They came across because they say steady as she goes, steady as she goes. Basically, Alvin, what I'm getting from them is you're really good at life in general. You're doing all the right things. You're on the right path. And they said that when the time is right, you're going to do something fun. And I know that sounds general and basic, but they don't think that you are in any type of crisis. And the beautiful thing is you have the gift of time now, and then you can find something that you like doing. And it seems to involve something where you're outdoors, at least part of the day. Okay. Dr. Pat, what's your take on this?
Alvin, thank you so much. I mean, I heard you say you had a farm, you sold a farm, you had a job, you've been laid off, you now have the opportunity to retire. Did I get all three of those things right?
Yes, and I'm a Libra.
I was just going to ask you. I didn't want to jump to that. But I'll tell you about Libra right now and this reaction to this particular day. You know, this is the idea about Libra and Aries. Remember what I said to you about today? It's all about Aries, but there are other signs that interact. So what this means is when you have this connection, this is popping up in like your 7th house, I think. This is partnerships. It's shining a light on dynamic relationships. Now, you said your wife's name is Jane or June?
Jalita.
Jane. Okay. So I got to ask you a question.
Jalita, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So have you taken the time now that you're not working and stuff to spend some time with her?
Well, we spend time together, but you know, through complications of life, we don't chat enough with each other.
Boy, I'm telling you, come on. You know, steady as you go. Time to get a little juice going over there, Alvin. Okay. Yes, because you don't have a time issue anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So what happens with this Aries stuff? Aries tends to be a sign by itself, and it could put you into a rough spot emotionally, right? And you could, I don't say, and this is you, but you could be putting other people first. I don't know if that's you. Is that you? Do you put other people ahead of your loved ones?
Yeah, I would say that, yes.
Oh, I love true confessions. You're so good. Thank you for saying the truth on the show. Here's your message. You got to aim to give your partners and your best friends, you got to give them a little grace period, right? But don't take them personally. This is a time for you. I know this is hard when you lose a job and you do this and you do that, but this is about initiating new things for you. And I would highly encourage you to look at initiating new things to strengthen your relationship. You got that?
Yes.
Go to the movies or something. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? Surprise her with some roses.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. And
when's the last time you bought me roses?
Yeah, when Dr. Pat
I
and
did
I
that
are
on Valentine's Day, but I don't do it too often.
Well, Valentine's Day, what was that? That was a month or so ago.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong, Dr. Pat. Most women like pleasant surprises, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Come on, Alvin.
Totally.
Yeah,
Come
yeah.
on.
Bring her some roses, or
Yeah.
you know what? Maybe do a date like on this weekend. Take her to a botanical garden.
But
You
here's
know?
the thing I got to tell you, don't overburden your relationship with what's going on in your life. I mean, that's my punchline for you. Same thing as it was for Pat. Do not overburden your life by these events, job loss, Don't do it, because spirit will take care of all of that. Your loved ones are here with you now. And this is not the time to really waste that time on worrying about stuff that you may not have control over. You see what I'm saying? So don't bring the burden of that into your relationship. You got it?
Yes.
All right.
You got this. I know you got this. Okay, go get the roses. Thank you, Alvin. Thank you for calling.
Thank you very much. Have a pleasant day.
Thank you, Alvin.
Yeah, let's take a really short break, like 30 seconds. When we come back, we're going to go right to the phones. everybody. Welcome back. Before we get going, we're going to go right to the phones. We got a number of people. Mark, you mentioned a bunch of things earlier, but is there a way that people can really find out where you're going to be, what you're going to be up to, all of that? Can they go to your website for that?
Yes, they can. Go to my website, afterlifefrequency.com, and sign up for my newsletter.
Yeah.
Because once you sign up for my newsletter, that'll keep you up to date on everywhere I'm going to
Yeah.
be and what I'm doing. And that's afterlifefrequency.com. Dr. Pat, I say
Yeah.
we go back to the phones. What do you
Let's
think?
do it. Sierra, who
right.
do we have?
Up next, we have Anna from New York. Anna, you are
Hi, Anna.
live.
Are you Anna or are you Anna?
Anna.
Anna. I love
Anna,
it.
woohoo!
Anna, that was my mom's name. My birth mom's name was Anna. You're calling from New York. Where in New York?
Upstate New York, Fairport.
Oh, beautiful. Hey, beautiful place. Yeah.
It really, yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. How can we help you tonight, Anna?
Well, I've been feeling kind of an awakening. Lately, I've been receptive to a lot of signs from the universe, and so I thought I'd give this a try. I'm just wondering if Spirit has any messages for me in particular. I'm concerned about my health, my physical health.
All right,
You
hold
know, the
on
doctors
right
always say
there.
I'm fine,
Yep.
Right,
That's
yeah.
okay. Hold on right there. Mark is gonna he's gonna connect. What's your birthday? What sign are you? Well, Mark is getting
June
connected.
10th. I'm a snake and a Gemini.
Wow, 3 Gemini things tonight. Like June everywhere. Oh my gosh.
Isn't that interesting?
Wow, it is.
Yeah, none of this is coincidental. Yeah.
No. All right, Mark, it's all you.
Okay, hold on, Anna. Let's see who's coming through. I'm getting a male energy who feels like he may be on your generational level. Now, this could be a brother, cousin, spouse. And what I'm getting with him is I feel this blunt force trauma to my head. Now, that doesn't always mean blunt force trauma. When I get an impact sensation to my head, it could be head trauma, it could be stroke, could be aneurysm, or it could be a quick passing. But
I think I know who it is.
Okay, hold on. All right, and it's very important, like I explained to the other caller, not to interrupt me because, see, I just lost the connection. So kindly wait until I say, do you recognize this or does that make sense? Because now I got to get him back, okay? And hold on, I know you're excited, but just work with me on this. Okay, so I'm getting him back now, and I am tasting a lot of blood. So it doesn't always mean a huge bleed out. It could be an internal hemorrhage. Now you can respond. Please don't give me his name and his entire life story. Just who do you think this is relationship wise? Like cousin, friend, whatever. Do not give me his name.
A former student of mine.
Okay. All right. Hold on. Did he or do you, let me finish. Let me do this. He keeps showing me frames, like frames for pictures and paintings. Did either you do something with art or did he do something with art? And it's really fascinating because he showed me these big heavy frames, and what I'm seeing in it has a very impressionist like look to it of the painting, and it's real thick paint, like oil paints, and I can actually smell the oil paints. Does anything there make sense to you?
I'm sorry, no.
Hold on, before we no things away. If I say oil paints or impressionism, don't worry about how it applies to him. What does that make you think? You're thinking.
Well, I'm going to France in a couple months.
And France was the home of what art movement? Oh yeah, Impressionism. Yeah, I know when I'm getting good stuff. And I'm really glad, Anna, that we're having this exchange here, because for your benefit and everybody else's, when a spirit transmits a piece of information to me, it is not always about the spirit. You have to think globally. How does that make sense to Anna? And you're going to France in a couple months, which, is loaded with impressionist paintings. And I hope you get a chance to go to the Louvre and all that. Okay, so this spirit is aware of that. And hold on. Did he confide in you a lot? Because he said, like, yes, you were his teacher, but he felt like you were a confidant.
Yeah, I just loved him.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, the feeling is mutual, and that's why he's bringing up all these beautiful images of France. And are you? You're probably going to Paris because he showed me Paris. But are you going to the northern coast, like Normandy or Brittany at all?
My husband wanted to, but it's not in
But
the plan.
okay,
Mm.
I'm seeing Normandy.
Mm.
So you may
Oh,
want
well,
to think about that one, because this spirit is he wants you to have the time of your life. He says
Mm.
you deserve it.
Mm.
You deserve it. Now, you wanted to know about your health. Hold on. He's
Yeah.
showing me a bunch of cellular mutations with red blood cells. Now, I don't like jumping to any conclusions about that, but it appears that there's something going on with blood cells with mutations, and also some type of blocked either iron or protein. There's like some type of either anemia or iron deficiency that may be going on. Does anything there make sense to you?
Yeah.
In what way?
Well, I'm exhausted in just an unnatural way. All my joints hurt. I was wondering if I might have rheumatoid arthritis or something.
Have you been to the doctor?
My tests are always fine, and they always say, "Oh, you're fine," and
But you're not fine.
you know,
Neither Dr. Pat nor I are medical doctors, but my recommendation would be you're probably going to a regular, general practitioner. I recommend you go to a holistic physician, and get some blood work there, because the red blood cells, the protein, the anemia, and then you say you're tired, that all seems to be related.
Mm.
So there's something that your body is deficient in, which regular medical tests aren't picking up. Dr. Pat, what's your take?
I'm not a medical doctor, but I have a history of this and I want to give it to you. You happen to live in a place, I have to say this kindly, you happen to live in a really beautiful place that not only humans like, but ticks like. Ticks love Upper New York. You have one of the top Lyme disease doctors on the planet in upstate New York. Again, I'm not a doctor, but everything you just said to me is so reminiscent of the signs. So if I'm you, I'm going to look for a doctor that can give you a full panel, not the CDC version. Dr. Horowitz, by the way, is who I'm referring to, but you have many other doctors that can give you a full panel to check for that. Have you been checked for tick bites and stuff like that?
Yeah, I had blood work several months ago that was fine, but and they checked me for lupus and said I didn't have it.
Lyme disease. No, Lyme, not lupus.
Lyme disease is different. Lyme disease. Okay, I will get checked
So
for that.
let me explain it to you, and I can only explain it from my own experience. It is none of these tests are going to show this. If you by chance, by some weird thing, happen to get the little bite, it's not going to show in normal tests. There's a special panel test for Lyme. It's not a typical test. Find a Lyme literate doctor in New York. There are very good ones, top of the top of the top. Find that doctor.
Okay.
Dr. Horowitz, I think, has a long waiting list, but honestly, get it checked out, okay? Just, if nothing else, it's a sanity check, because when you feel like you feel and you keep going and they keep telling you it's in your head, it may not be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Last thing I want to say to you, you don't have to tell me, but is there a reason you're not going to like the northern part of France? What was the reason for that? Like,
I just didn't get around to planning it, but we're going to the Loire Valley and we're going to a language school in the Loire Valley, but my husband and I have a week to ourselves.
Oh.
The kids will be with grandma in this school, and we could get away, but we just didn't. We're just exhausted and haven't planned anything.
Are both of you kind of exhausted, feeling the same way then? Yeah.
Well, no, yeah, but for him, I think it's more his work.
Okay.
But
Good.
we're avoiding Paris because of the Olympics.
Look, it's
Yeah.
time for you to have fun, but trust me when I say this, you're talking to somebody that went through a 10-year journey of this. And it's not fun when you don't feel well. But I think, again, we're not medical doctors, but I do want to point you in a direction to go get that test. It'll cost you some money. Because I don't think government is covering this yet. I don't even go there with me, but just spend the money and get it. It's a special Lyme disease panel test. Go to a Lyme literate doctor. Okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay.
And
yeah, you're going to get some relief.
Thank Spirit for the birds.
You can do that on your own. You can
Yeah.
no, with your loved ones in spirit, you can always just talk to them because
Yeah.
they're around and they can hear you.
Yeah.
All right, Anna, you go
Okay.
take
Thank
care
you,
of
Anna.
yourself. Nothing is more valuable than your health. Take care
No.
of yourself.
Well, thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you so
thanks.
much.
Bye.
All right. We're going to keep going. I love when we get a call like that because isn't it funny? She calls into a show where she's talking to somebody. I am the founder of Lyme Global. I did Lyme Talk Radio for years. We toned it down because of the pandemic, but we're bringing it back. She happens to live in a state New York State has some of the best outside of my state, but she'll be able to get that test. Who do we have next?
Up next, we have Denise from North Carolina. Denise, you are live.
Hi, Denise.
Hello.
Welcome to the show. How are you?
Hello, Dr. Pat. I'm doing fine.
Awesome.
The reason I'm calling tonight is I need some encouragement in my life, and I would like to hear from my son, but I'm open to anyone who might come through. I was hoping for a reading, and
Okay.
I'm a Gemini, by the way.
Wow. Okay.
Wow,
I'm gonna turn
this
you
is-
over to Mark, and I'm gonna hold my
Thank you so much
thinking
for your
right there.
time.
You
this
bet.
is
Thank
this is like the Gemini marathon
Can't
tonight.
plan this.
Amazing.
I know it's
Um,
great.
Denise, let me see if I can get hold of your son. And first off, on behalf of Dr. Pat, myself, and our whole team, no mom should go through losing a child. So our hearts go out to you. I mean, there are no words to express what you've been through and what you're going through. So,
Thank you.
all right, I'm getting a male energy coming through. Now, this could be your son, but let me describe him. He feels like he could have been, gosh, this was not a kid, but this was not really a mature man. He looks like he could have been in his mid to late teens, okay? And kind of a medium build. He seemed like overall, like he looked like he was in pretty decent shape, but then all of a sudden I'm getting this dizzy disorientation. Something was going on which is affecting his mental focus and clarity. I feel like I can't breathe. I can't swallow. So there was some type of blockage. Something was affecting his throat. And I feel like I'm going into cardiopulmonary failure. And please forgive me. I know I sound clinical, but he's coming through. And based on your reaction, I take it that this does make sense.
Yes, sir, it does.
Okay.
He,
Go ahead.
I don't. I will tell you that he died from an overdose of fentanyl.
That's
And
exactly what that
described to
feels
me
like. Yeah.
and that's exactly what how the doctor explained it. So.
Yeah,
Thank
and no, thank you for being so brave and calling out and reaching out. Yes, it was an overdose, but I'm not getting an intentional act. In other words, this does not feel to me like suicide because your son seems like he was on a pretty even keel, or that's what he was going for overall. I'm not getting this massive influx of depression prior to passing. I'm getting more of this. He was cool. I mean, he was bubbly,
Yeah.
upbeat. He was a ball of energy. And what I'm getting is I'm going to translate this without the colorful metaphors. He said it was a really stupid mistake. Okay. So, intransigent. What? He said intransigent. That's a strange word. Intransigent.
Intransigent?
Yeah.
He was in transit. He died on a bus coming home.
Oh, he was in transit. Oh, okay. Because
Yes.
I'm like intransigent. All right, in transit. So he was in Yeah. Here's the thing. He thought he was taking a recreational high. He didn't realize, and this is what he said, it was a lethal dose. So I get from him, he thought he was taking something like a Xanax or something like that to kind of take the edge off. He said, I guess I should have stuck to weed. I guess I should have stuck to weed. And I'm not saying that to be funny, but that's what he's saying. Does that make sense to you in any way?
Yes, he was in a legal state. That was what he did a lot of. And he couldn't sleep. And everything you said's right.
Okay.
I'm hearing that.
Yeah, and he said strawberries. Now, strawberries are an image that I get fairly often because it's one of my triggers for the month of February. It could be a birth, death, anniversary, or event connected to you or him or someone close to you within February, but it could just mean strawberries. Like you or he like strawberries, hate strawberries. Some people are allergic to them. What's with strawberries? And I'm particularly tasting strawberry ice cream.
I know that his dad's birthday is February.
There we go.
And
yeah. Go ahead.
I'm not sure about the strawberry ice cream. I mean, he loved ice cream, period.
Well, yes, but how does strawberries, or what does strawberry ice cream mean to you? Because many times when a spirit transmits information to me, it is not about the spirit. It could mean something else. So if I say strawberry ice cream, okay, keep going.
Could be his brother. His brother loves strawberry ice cream. It was a thing when they were children.
Perfect. So that's his way of saying hello to his brother. Okay. And he said, Mom, it's you need to go dancing again. He said, it's been too long. You need to go dancing. What's up with you and dancing?
I used to dance. I just used to take line dancing, but it's been so long.
There you go, Dr. Pat.
Yeah. Look, I'm so sorry to hear this. I have to tell you this, and I want you to hear how important this is to me. My addiction recovery journey is now in its 33rd year, I believe. Can't even keep count. But this is the fentanyl problem is a fentanyl problem, but it's not really fentanyl per se. What's happening with fentanyl, it's being put in so many things. I don't know the details of his passing, but I want to tell you, intransigent, it has a specific meaning, and I want to tell you what it means. In the world of addiction and alcoholism, I will tell you, intransigent is the kind of word that shows up. Nobody says that, but it's an uncompromising, inflexible, stubborn, entrenched. Nothing is more inflexible, stubborn, and entrenched than a dealer or somebody trying to give you something you don't want. And again, I say this, my heart goes out to you. We feel so strongly here at the network that in about a month or two, we're launching an addiction recovery channel. Out of all of the channels we could have launched, this is the one we're doing, because we have to get messaging out there. And I agree with Mark. I do not believe, and so many of my friends, their children have gone this pathway, and our hearts go out to you, because sometimes we try to make sense of things that don't make sense. Yeah, Denise, do you know what I mean?
Yes, and I've gone through so many emotions. Anger, I was angry with him. Of course, I'm not now, but yeah, and I feel like I was a failure as a mother.
No, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. You're not a failure. You're not a failure as a mother. There's something happening in our society with fentanyl that if somehow you can get with people that can talk to you, this is very different. Fentanyl is very different than any street drug that has
Yes.
ever been on the market. And I want to tell you, it is so absolutely ridiculous, and we're so not educated about it, that it's being put in children's candy. This is how weird this is. So when I say to you, it's not your fault, you really got to hear me on this, because I can
Okay.
imagine your child being on a bus with a bunch of other people, and they just don't understand this. And we're not educating the public enough on fentanyl. We're just not. And so that's what I want to say, Mark.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but
Go ahead.
Denise, are you a member of Helping Parents Heal?
Yeah.
I visited their Facebook group. I'm not a member per se. I haven't been in a while, but
yeah, I highly recommend it, because Helping Parents Heal, they use mediumship as part of the healing journey. And I've dealt with a lot of grief groups, as has Dr. Pat, and Helping Parents Heal is outstanding.
Yeah.
And so that would be my recommendation. Sorry, I didn't mean to interject,
But
but
I got to say, Mark, you're right about this. You've got to get some help, but this is going to help you. This word, intransigent, I want to tell you, here's what this means. Imagine this. Imagine being in a closed space, a bus. So I just want you to imagine. I want you to imagine somebody that is intransigent. And I'm talking about the person that has the fentanyl. And so this word is so strong that there's nothing that one can do really in that situation. You could say no 100,000,000 times, but an intransigent somebody that's trying to convince you that you got to take it there, brutal. I mean, I'll tell you, look up the word. If you can hear the message from him, you may understand it was one of those moments, just one of those moments. You're not to blame.
Well, I will tell you that according to the police, they talked with someone that they lost their witness. I don't know how it happened. They said that the guy just left, and it was my understanding he didn't have a ticket to be on the bus. So, and the way my son died, and I'll try not to take too much time, but he threw up. Of course, he threw up. He was unable to breathe. Everything that Mark said was absolutely correct.
Yep.
And he couldn't even reach out. But yes, I mean, he was susceptible to people. So I hear that. And I
but
always
not just every person, Denise. I want you to hear me. The word intransigent is not just a regular person. It's not like me saying, Mark, have a donut. It's not that. It's take a donut or you're a failure. You're a loser. You're ridiculous. You better eat the donut.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the donut, Mark. I mean, my God, look at everybody here. Why won't you eat the donut? You're never going to achieve it. That's what I'm talking about. Even the best of us that are trained, Denise, Mark's better at it than me. I'm telling you, please forgive yourself. Please, because your son has no ill will, right, Mark, towards
none whatsoever. And Denise, he knows that you are not at all responsible for that. But moms always feel guilty because that's part of being a mom. But don't torture yourself. You are in no way responsible. Denise,
what a brilliant child to give you that word. Look it up on your own, okay?
Okay. He was very smart. Thank you both. Thank you.
God bless you, Denise.
Thank you, Denise. What a great show, Mark. That word, that we don't use that word enough in addiction and recovery, but I got to tell you, that is what it's like to be bullied.
Yeah,
even
I
when
mean,
you know not to.
Intransigent hit me like a ton of bricks.
Oh my God. Okay, thank you, Mark. Thank you all, right?
And we'll be back next week. We'll see you here. Dr. Pat and I will be back live next week. Thank you, everybody. Good night. And
we love you all.
Love you all.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for tuning into The Psychic and the Doc with Mark Anthony and me, Dr. Pat Baccili, right here on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Hey, look, come back next week so we can explore with you more of life's many challenges and learn from fascinating guests. And you know what? Even Mark and me. We'll connect you and discover insights from people in this life and from the afterlife. Extraordinary problems? Yeah, they do. They require extraordinary solutions. But step into the world of possibilities with us on The Psychic and the Doc. That's every Thursday, 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on TransformationTalkRadio.com. That's TransformationTalkRadio.com. And don't forget, we're also live face-to-face on Facebook.com, Transformation Talk Radio.